You ready?
Yeah!
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm wearing some tight jeans, and tonight we're delving into some mind-blowing madness. I'm Andrew Jackson. I'm your president. Let's go.
Why wouldn't you ever go out with me in school? You always went out with those guys who thought they were so cool, and I was just nobody to you, nobody to you, nobody to you.
But it's the early 19th century, and we're gonna take this country back for people like us who don't just think about things, people who make things happen. Sometimes it's cars, sometimes it's beaches too, and also other things.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Populism, yeah, yeah. Populism, yeah, yeah. Populism, yeah, yeah. Populism, yeah, yeah. This is the age of Jackson. Take a stand against the elite. They don't care anything for us. And we will lead sweet democracy and let them eat our dust, eat our dust, eat our dirty us. 'Cause it's the early 19th century. We'll take the land back from the Indians.
We'll take the land back from the French and Spanish and other people in other European countries.
And other countries too.
And also other places.
I'm pretty sure it's our land anyway.
Populism, yeah, yeah. Populism, yeah, yeah. Populism, yeah, yeah. Populism, yeah, yeah. This is the age of Jackson. This is the age of Jackson. This is the age of Jackson.
Andrew Jackson was born on March 15th, 1767 in the Pioneer Territory of Tennessee. Andrew was the youngest of 3 boys born to Elizabeth and Andrew Sr., a latter a very proud man. They lived a happy life on the frontier, but a hard one, barely supporting themselves through farming, logging, and the occasional slave auction. Rampaging Indians on the outskirts of such settlements were a source of constant fear.
Look at this, Andrew. The broth from the oxo has made a very fine stew. It will keep us fed heartily as the cold winds pour over Tennessee Hill.
Ah, Elizabeth, what wedded bliss it is to be wedded to you.
Huzzah! Your shoes have been cobbled.
What? Jezediah, you've done it again. Look at these very fine shoes. Don't you think so, Andrew Jr.?
Oh, they're no such great work, Miss Elizabeth, for I am a humbled cobbler from the Waxhaw settlement of the Tennessee Hills. They're nothing compared to the shoe cobbing quality of the great cities of the Northeast.
Holy crap, my face!
You don't ever say that about the Waxhaw settlement of the Tennessee Hills, you hear? We're just as good as those northeastern cities, and they're aristocrats. We're getting murdered up here on the frontier, one by one, every day, and do they protect us? No. All they do is tax and tax us for their pretty lace.
Oh my God, my face is literally poaching off into my hands right
All the
now.
lace in Philadelphia ain't none as pretty as the logs in my backyard. I got hundreds of them!
Yes, yes!
You understand?
Yes, yes, you have hundreds of logs!
Hundreds of them.
So, I've got an idea. Why don't we go down to the creek and gather some...
Holy crap!
Mother?
Elizabeth! The cholera finally got to her son. It's too much. It's too much!
Son of a...
Mother and Mary!
Cholera, Daddy?
No, son. That's the work of Indians.
Indians?
Why, we're gonna beat them back like the British. We're gonna drive them out like the Spaniards. 'Cause don't you ever forget young Andrew Jackson. This is our land. And even the land that isn't our land is the land that shall be our land. So pick up a rifle and make those land-grubbing Indians bleed. All of them. Bleed!
Mommy? Daddy? I have no one left. My family's all dead. The British are slaughtering everyone trying to steal back their land. So is the Spaniards. And then there's the Indians. Don't get me started on the Indians. I wish that you were dead so that I could paint your face a different color. Who was it that ever said that my life really couldn't get any duller? My family's dead and I can't see a way to carry on. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Life sucks! My life sucks in particular. Life sucks! And my life sucks in particular. When you have no one to show you what to do, how do you have your way? When your country doesn't have a place for you, how do you have your say? How can you make them pay? Those wealthy New England Congress jerks would rather tax us and play polo all day than defend the frontier. No one's doing a thing about it, and everyone around here is all pissed off, but no one's taking a stand. So I guess then that it's up to me. 1, 2, 3, 4! There's nothing left in this old town. Pick up your life and move it around. And what is here for me in Tennessee? Pick up your rifle and make a stand. You always said I should be like that guy, but guess what? I'm telling you, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Who am I? I'm Andrew Bloody Jackson, and my life sucks in particular. Life sucks, and my life sucks in particular. And then you'll rain down, the blood will bleed out, the sweat will sweat forth. How can I be that guy? How can I be
That guy.
What the hell? I mean, come on! I'm trying to do a song here.
After his entire family and the local shoe cobbler all coincidentally died of cholera, and with the British, Spanish, and Indian raids into frontier territories becoming increasingly violent, young Andrew decided to join the Patriot cause to defend his dear Tennessee, and all at the age of 13. I mean, can you believe that?
I'm a young man with purpose and a clear mission to guide me. Today I hold in my hand the destiny. Ow! From this day forward, I stand. Ow! It is from this day forward that. Ow! It is from this day. Ow! It is from this day that I stand for the rights of the American people. Ow! Will you stop that? Because that really hurts.
Eventually, Andrew was released by the British, but his anger at the injustices grew. He tried in good faith to better his life. He became apprenticed to a lawyer. And yet that wasn't enough. Indian and foreign threats grew more and more menacing by the day, while Congress remained indifferent of the plight of the Westerners. Soon, Jackson became the spokesperson for the angry frontiersmen.
Jackson! Jackson! Jackson!
Tell us about Philadelphia, Andrew.
Nah, you don't want to hear that stuff again.
Yes, we do!
Okay. So I'm up there in our fair capital trying to meet some congressmen to tell them about our grievances, right? And to tell them to pay a little closer attention to the western half of the country. And who do I run into? But good old King George Washington.
No way!
Guess way! In the middle of the street. And so I'm like freaking out and I'm all nervous, but I get up the courage to go up to him and say, "Excuse me, Mr. President, my name is Andrew Jackson." And he says, "What for?" And I say, presidency is only interested in the rich Northeast, that you don't give a darn about the frontiersmen. Now, I for one don't agree with them, but I just thought you really should know what some people are saying. And he says, sort of tersely, he says, "Well, thank you, young man, I'll keep that in mind." And he kind of brushes past me, and as he does, I say to him, "Oh, totally. It's nice to meet you, too."
Washington sucks!
That's what I'm saying!
You're so angry.
I know.
Rachel, his one true love. Yeah!
Oh, Andrew Jackson.
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 Oh, Andrew Jackson. Oh, Andrew Jackson. Ooh.
I think you might be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
My name's Rachel. A wise woman once wrote that illness is not metaphor. So why do I feel sick when I look at you?
There is this illness in me, and I need to let it out. So when I bleed,
It's not blood, it's a metaphor for love. These aren't veins, just the beating of my heart. This fever isn't real, it represents how I feel. My pain transformed into art.
Isn't this a commonplace early 19th century medical procedure?
why, yes, it is. If you feel like you might throw up, well, that's a metaphor for how I feel when I dream of you bathed in your metaphorical blood.
And when the doctor says you're gonna make it, I tell him why I'm able to take.
It's not blood, it's a metaphor for love. These aren't veins, just the beating of my heart. This fever isn't real, it represents how I feel. My pain transformed into art. My pain transformed into art.
Just so you know, I'm married to another man.
So,
Bigamy?
okay.
But Susan Sontag's dead, so I guess her cancer wasn't metaphorical after all. Sorry.
Andrew, someone's looking for you.
Jackson, Tecumseh seeking to unite the northern and southern tribes into a great confederation to destroy our way of life. What's more, the Spanish soldiers you've injured have joined in their cause, terrorizing American coast from Georgia through to Mississippi. Meanwhile, British forces making incursions into the coastal Louisiana, starting a southern flank of the war of 1812. As President Monroe and his Federalist cronies idle in luxury and direct all this country's military towards losing battles in the northeastern territories. Andrew Jackson, we need your help. You need to lead us.
Sir, are you divine providence?
No, sir, I'm Henry Grandma. Will you lead us?
4 things I hate: the Spanish, the British, Washington aristocrats, and then there's the Indians. But most of all, the Indians.
And that's when Andrew Jackson decided
I think I can take it from here.
Sometimes you have to take the initiative. Sometimes your whole family dies of cholera.
Sometimes you have to make your own story. Sometimes you have to shoot the storyteller in the net. Sometimes you have to take back the country. Sometimes you have to kill everyone. Everyone, 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 everyone.
Why would you ever go out with me in school?
See that guy, like a
Sometimes his speech is true.
Why would you ever go out with me in school?
Sometimes his speech is true. Sometimes you have to
shoot the storyteller in the neck. Sometimes you have to take back the country. Sometimes you have to kill everyone.
Life sucks!
Populism,
Your life's gonna suck universally!
Populism, yeah.
Life sucks!
Populism,
And your life's gonna suck universally!
Populism, yeah. Sometimes with guns, sometimes with speeches
I will
too.
make them all bleed!
The Battle of Horseshoe Bend. The frontiersmen led by Jackson brutally overwhelm and decimate the Creek Indian forces. October 7, 1813.
Chief Red Eagle, this is my final offer for the Creek people.
Creek Nation.
We no longer recognize you as a nation. As the new possessors of Horseshoe Bend, and basically all of northern Georgia, you are now people living within our borders, and as such, you're subject to the laws that govern the...
General Jackson,
What is it, boy?
we just received word from President Monroe. He's going to let the Creeks keep their lands.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that won't do. Thank you.
Okay, see you later.
Now, you see, you're savages. You're soulless, godless, and, well, you get the point. Now, I could have every acre of your land taken away from you, and, well, yeah, that's exactly what I think I'm gonna do.
But the messenger, he just said...
Listen! I'm gonna do whatever it is that I want to do. And what I want to do is take 20 million acres of your richest land and sequester you to this tiny, smelly, bug-infested reservation in a swampy corner of Florida. And so that's what's going to happen. And that's what's going to happen right now!
Could we discuss this rationally?
No! No!
10 little Indians standing in a line. One got executed when there were 9. 9 little Indians haven't long to wait. One got syphilis and then there were 8. 8 little Indians trying to get to heaven. One got Jesus and then there were 7. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good Chief Cook.
He a cock, actually.
Whatever. In negotiating the peace and forfeiture of your darling little hamlet of Appalachia Bay, we are prepared to stop massacring your people and instead offer you and your tribe for the next 10 years $6,000 annually and an additional $5,000 immediately upon your ratification of this treaty.
That is understood.
In return, you and your tribe will leave northern Georgia for a reservation settlement never to return to this land. How does that sound to you, good chief?
Well, pretty terrible, actually. But I heard you sometimes offer presents.
Look, I don't know where you guys keep hearing this from.
Sorry.
Fine, I'll throw in a dozen beads as well as some smallpox blankets for you and your family.
What about some dream catchers?
Fine, a dozen dream catchers.
Oh, yes, I'm gonna go get them. Dream catchers are mystical.
And with this treaty, we promise your people peace and friendship and whatever, okay?
Okay.
Great, now sign here. Date it.
Today's
The 12th.
Where does the time go?
And sign here. And here. Terrific. Initial here. God, it's so humid. I don't know how you Indians do it.
Brazilian.
7 little Indians playing pick-up sticks. One got burned real bad and then there were 6. 6 little Indians trying to stay alive. One didn't do so well and then there were 5.
5 little Indians banging on the door. One got in and then there were 4.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
And as a sign of our gratitude for your being so compliant during these peace treaties negotiations, I'm gonna throw some blankets on the house. How's that sound?
We've thought about what you said, General Jackson, and saw what happened to those two other guys. We're totally switching our allegiances to you.
Really? Oh, well, what about the Spanish?
Screw the Spanish.
And the British?
The British are terrorists.
You know, it's strange. Clearly, they're a primitive and uncivilized race, but the Indians talk just like us. Crazy. See? I told you boys, assimilation works. Consider yourselves allies.
God, we love the United States.
Four little Indians hiding in a tree. One passed out drunk and then there were three. Three little Indians, not much left to do. One left for Mexico and then there were two. Two little Indians playing with a gun. One got shot and then there was one. Good night, good night, good night. Good night.
Treaties, Great Father.
Good, Black Fox.
A few held out for more, but they came around.
My friend, you and your people can expect a large gift.
And protection?
Of course, continued protection from the United States government.
Thank you, Great Father.
Good night, good night, good night.
One little Indian, nothing to be done. He went and hanged himself, and then there were none.
General Jackson, the Redcoats is here, in New Orleans.
The British are back?
They haven't learned this land will never be theirs.
Declare martial laws on the streets of New Orleans. And second, cut down all the trees to clog the bayou so no boats can pass.
Surely you're not advocating deforestation.
The Battle of New Orleans. Against overwhelming forces, Jackson and his troops are victorious. At last, the British are driven from American soil once and for all. Jackson is a national hero. Back home.
Rachel!
Andrew!
We won, honey! We beat the British! They're gone for good now! We won! Ha!
You're drunk and covered in blood.
We only have 300 men, and we won! It was the Battle of New Orleans!
It was a very important battle. Promise me you'll stay here at the Hermitage with me. You've had luck on your side so far, but...
I love you, Rach! But I also gotta kill the entire native population!
Well, Andrew, you have to choose.
Okay. I choose you.
Thank you.
Hey! Hey! I love you!
I love you too.
The Battle of New Orleans proved to be an incredible victory for Jackson and this young country against almost impossible odds. Never again would Americans doubt their ability to defend themselves by force of arms on their own soil. And, simultaneously, Major General Andrew Jackson was finally recognized as more than a general, as more than a Westerner, as more as a symbol of the...
Meanwhile, back in Washington,
John Calhoun. James Monroe. Martin Van Buren.
Strike a pose.
Henry Clay.
Strike a pose.
This Andrew Jackson, he's gaining popularity. He's getting out of control.
Now, I received word that he's taken Florida from the Seminoles.
How very exciting.
Shut up, Van Buren.
Well, that's just blasé unfair.
Look, this hick cowboy general is responsible for the largest land grab in the history of our country. He makes Jefferson look like a wimp. I can't imagine what he's making me look like in the process. You must advise me. What should I do?
I like what he's done, but
He's a loose cannon and needs to be controlled. You summon Jackson to the White House and we'll get to the bottom of this.
We'll show Jackson what Washington is really about.
We're having so much fun together! General Jackson, President Monroe requires your presence in Washington to discuss urgent matters.
Who are you?
I'm Martin Van Buren, the preternaturally obese senator from New York.
You seem like a kind man.
I see in your eyes pain, compassion, a man who has known no end to suffering. General, we must leave right away.
But Van Buren, I can't leave now and abandon my men.
It's okay. Washington's just over here. See those people?
I don't understand.
Trust me, it'll just take like 2 seconds.
So, you decide to just take Florida?
Yeah.
Well, where were all the Spaniards?
Oh, well, I killed them all. Oops.
Let me get this straight. We now own Florida. And basically all of modern day Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, Missouri, Arkansas, and Alabama. And it's all because of you?
Booyah!
I'm censoring you.
Me too.
I agree.
I'm John Quincy Adams. I'm censoring you too.
Yeah, so you can go now.
You brought me all the way here to tell me this? No, thank you, Andrew, for killing all the Spaniards in the South, driving the British out of the country, and kicking some serious butt with the Indians, BTW, with no help or support from the government, I might add. Well, can I tell you something? I think the only remaining menace comes from within this country. From Congress, the White House. You guys don't give a crud about the frontiersmen. There's no equal representation in your one-party system. The era of good feelings? More like the era of bad feelings. You guys are so dead. The American people deserve an alternative to you croquet-playing pansies. I'm gonna blow you away with my brand of maverick egalitarian democracy.
What's with the haircut?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Vote for Jackson, 'cause he's a real man. It's morning in America, and he's an American.
Thank you! You guys look freaking repulsive! Very good! Today, you have named me the first governor of Florida! I promise to you that I will be good at what you ask me to do, wise when it is required of me, and always stop when you use a safe word. However, in deference to my transparent political ambitions and the requirements of narrative economy, I must today also announce my plans to run for president of this nation! That's right! That means it's our time! Time for the real people of this nation! You and me! Time for us to take this country back! That's right! You and me versus federalist monarchy! Let's give them a painstakingly nuanced education in representative democracy! Oh, and folks, don't tell my wife I'm here or she'll murder me. Thank you very much!
Jackson! Jackson! Jackson!
Jackson to run for president.
Jackson is an outlaw. He is double the size of America.
He's the candidate I'd most like to have a beer with.
I've been to Washington. I've seen them in their wigs, sipping tea, riding in gilded carriages. I promise to dismantle the aristocracy, take down the Washington insiders, the Brits, to drive out the Spaniards, the Indians, to turn America into the true democracy that it was intended to be, for the people, by the people.
And with all the votes in, we repeat that while Governor Andrew Jackson of Florida has categorically swept Senator Clay and Secretary of State Adams in both the popular and electoral votes, he has not, I repeat, has not achieved the overall majority necessary to win. The tie-breaking vote was sent to Congress, and surprisingly, Congress has named John Quincy Adams our 6th president of these United States. That's right, folks, the people's choice has been refused the highest office in this land.
And now, an explanation of the corrupt bargain that took place in the back halls of Washington while no one was watching.
John Calhoun
We
says,
need to find a scheme to keep power in the hands of a chosen few.
John Quincy Adams says,
If my dad was president, then I should get to be president too.
Henry Clay
I'll
says,
make you president if you make me Secretary of State.
Alexis de Tocqueville says something in French that none of us can translate. Woo! Do 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 do. All you educated people, you can talk of liberty. Do you really want the American people running their own country? John Quincy Adams says,
If we steal the election, then Jackson will surely cave.
John Calhoun says,
You can be president if you don't try to take away my slaves.
Henry Clay says,
You'll get Missouri cause I know how to play real politic.
James Madison says something precious about this, but he was kind of a prick. Let's dance! Do 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 do. You can compromise all you want, they're still drunk and smell like pee. Do you really want America run by a man from Tennessee? John Quincy Adams.
The people are stupid.
Henry Clay.
They can all go rot.
John Calhoun.
They're lame.
Quincy Adams. Henry Clay.
Jackson's a total twit.
John Calhoun.
These guys are idiots, but it's Jackson who's the real threat.
I'm sure Michelle Foucault would have an opinion, but he hasn't been born yet. Jackson is a loser. Jackson is a loser. Jackson is a loser. Jackson is a loser.
I'm the president.
I'd like to tell you what I'm feeling right now, because I'm feeling like this whole thing is really messed up, and that it's really unfair, and frankly, it's starting to get on my nerves, and it's also starting to hurt my feelings. And you can say whatever, that I've killed a lot of people, that I'm a cowboy or a murderer, or even that I represent the national character of this country, because I kind of do. But I'm also a person, a really sensitive person. And I worked so hard for this country. You saw me. You saw me out there campaigning and stuff. And then to take it away so egregiously, well, it's just unfair, and I don't know what else I need to tell you other than that. And I know that you probably think I'm a jerk face for saying it, and I know you probably think that I'm like, guys, just like, you suck.
Jackson is a loser. Jackson is a loser. Jackson is a loser.
It is 1828 and the presidential campaign is suddenly heating up. What looked like a routine race has taken a dramatic turn as a surprise candidate from political exile has unexpectedly thrown his hat into the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Washington crossed the Delaware River. Washington acted like a rock star. Washington made America deliver. Washington tried to be a rock star.
But all that fame that he had won, it wasn't really all that fun. And soon the people started turning. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That boy who couldn't tell a lie 2 terms and then he said goodbye. Don't you want that to not burn it? Woo!
Why don't you just shoot me in the head? Cause you know I'd be better off dead. If there's really no place in America for a celebrity of the first rank.
Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Andrew Jackson! 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 Jackson!
That's right, people. Jackson's back!
1, 2, 3, John Adams tried to be an American Idol. Jefferson tried to be a rock star. Madison tried to make the presidency vital. James Monroe was a douchebag. The story's always ends the same. It's hard to handle all that fame if you don't really have it in ya. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's no place in democracy for your brand of aristocracy. Take that mess back to Virginia. Why don't you just shoot me in the head? Cause you know I'd be better off dead. If there's really no place in America for a celebrity on the first rank. You can't just be a founding father, cause everybody needs to be their father. just be a founding father. Cause everybody wants to be the father. Why don't you just shoot me in the head? Cause you know I'd be better off dead. If there's really no place in America for a celebrity on the first. Why don't you just shoot me in the head? Cause you know I'd be better off dead. If there's really no place in America for a celebrity on the first. Why don't you just shoot me in the head? Cause you know I'd be better off dead. If there's really no place in America for a celebrity on the first. Why don't you just shoot me in the head? Cause you know I'd be better off dead. If there's really no place in America for a celebrity on the first. Why don't you just shoot me in the head? Better off dead. There's really no place in America for a celebrity of the first rank.
These past 4 years, I've been sitting at home in Tennessee with a bottle of gin and a bag of Kleenex, reading the papers, watching things get worse, horrified by what they've been doing to this country. And I was like, I can't leave my people hanging.
Yeah!
I know. A government that can steal an election out from under the people is one messed up government.
Yeah!
We're talking a laissez-faire attitude towards ethics never before witnessed in the history of this nation. This ain't no democracy.
The National Bank sucks!
Folks, there's a moral conflict going on right now. One of virtue versus corruption, and people versus an elite. It's time for us to take this country back!
And also we hate the tariff.
The first step is founding our own party. A party for us, for the people. I'm calling it the Democratic Party, and party we will! Beginning tonight, we're going to change things in Washington. We're going to take this country back for the common man, for you and for me. Together, we will see our greatest hopes fulfilled because people of America, people of the world, this is our moment!
Can I please just bite your earlobes?
I'm in enough trouble with my wife right now, and this just can't continue, okay?
I meant in a political way. That's just disgusting.
1828 is going to be a year of change, and I'm asking you to let AJ be your agent of change. And when you hear the name Andrew Jackson, you think of a better, brighter tomorrow. Thank you, my friends, and good night!
I always thought I'd live in a house with a dog, some kids, and some slaves. A man at the door that says welcome, a sign on the fence that says private home, don't enter, and I never compromise. I hear you talk about what you want, the travel, the fighting, the pictures in the paper, the killing and campaigning, the sign on your door that says populism, yeah. And you tell me not to compromise, you tell me that you'll change, you promise and you promise, but I hear you talk about what you want, and you get what you want, you promise and you promise, you promised and you promised, but whoa, I'm so through with compromising, I'm so through with compromising, I'm so through with compromising. You had no private life, you gave up nothing, I gave up everything, you gave up nothing. We had no private life, you gave up nothing, I gave up everything, you gave up nothing.
It's election day, and excitement is in the air as votes are tallied.
Indeed, it was at that very moment that Rachel Jackson began to die of grief.
Grief?
It's the 19th century. That's the kind of stuff that happened to them.
Wow.
I know.
Jackson and reform!
Jackson and reform!
Oh, Rachel, please forgive me. I was wrong to run again.
You've made your decision, Andrew. Now don't screw it up.
Rachel!
And with all the votes in, I am pleased to announce that Jackson has won both the popular and electoral college votes.
Rach, come on. Please look at me. Just look at me.
Andrew Jackson, I repeat, Andrew Jackson will be our 7th president of these United States.
Mr. President,
Doctor, please save her.
The title that was stolen from him 4 years ago is finally his to savor. This is a happy day for Andrew Jackson and all of America.
I'm sorry.
Leave us. So I see where two roads divide. The public man when his wife has died. And just when everything I wanted was within my grasp, the irony, yeah, the irony is killing me. This public life, no private life. To my wife, I made this one last vow. I'll give my life to the people now. I'll be the man they need, the one to lead a generation. I'll listen to their voice with every choice as we transform this nation. Oh, I'll keep on going. Oh, I'll keep on going. Oh, I'll keep on going. I'm gonna be that guy. It's time to be that guy. I'm gonna take this country back.
There's nothing left in this old town. Pick up your life and move it around. You've got to get down to DC. Pick up your rifle and make a stand.
The change is coming now. Do it. It's coming on now. It's coming on now. Have this day and I've made my choice. I'm gonna listen to the people's voice.
it was never my intention to go to an inauguration, let alone Andrew Jackson's. I wasn't going to cheer on this self-proclaimed maverick who seemed to revel in his own ignorance and piss on every policy and tradition our country holds dear. But then, you know, the crowds arrive and you find yourself, well, I found myself, standing on top of a crate in the middle of Washington Mall, desperately craning my neck, trying to catch a glimpse of him, totally taken in by his sincerity and passion. This man who was so clearly one of us. And then he did the most incredible thing. He bowed to us, to the people. And in that moment, all the problems I had with him began to melt away. And you know, deep inside, on that morning, his presidency was going to be different from all the others. He was going to listen to us.
President Jackson here. What do I want to do about the tariff? Well, we're not going to wait to poll Congress. We're going to do what the people want. Who wants the tariff?
Me!
The people have spoken.
Jackson! Jackson! We need a decision on the Indians. They're killing settlers. It's a bloodbath.
Black Fox, my deputy of Indian Affairs / presidential weed envoy, what's up with you Indians? They don't want to move or assimilate, but they're killing white people? Why won't you behave?
Maybe because that's our land?
You and me had a deal. You gotta take care of this.
What if instead of making them assimilate, you murdered them all?
No, a president shouldn't kill a whole race of people. What I'm gonna have to do is move the Indians west of the Mississippi.
But great father,
Except for your tribe, Black Fox.
somehow I don't completely trust.
Van Buren, tell the Indians to get lost!
Jackson! Jackson!
Andrew Jackson, you are totally unorthodox.
Well, the old way of governing hasn't worked. This presidency is gonna be about the people, and what the people want is...
Pizza!
Pizza!
And what the people want, Jackson delivers.
The Supreme Court is on the other line.
What do they want?
The tariff.
Ugh! Jackson here, can you send over 2 pizzas, 1 cheese, 1 pepperoni?
Pepperoni!
Oh, and bring us a bottle of champagne while you're at it. We're making a bunch of unilateral decisions today, and we're getting kind of thirsty.
Okay, the Supreme Court isn't room service.
President Jackson, you cannot keep putting me off like this. The people of South Carolina have the right to break from the Union.
Whoa. With you guys, it's either secede or slavery. Well, we're making these decisions together as a country.
You don't have the authority to make these decisions by yourself.
I don't, huh? Well, what do you think?
I agree with you. What you said is right.
Don't ask your cheerleaders. They are not your cabinet.
Well, who is my cabinet? Uh-huh. The people's president doesn't need a cabinet. You know what? I'm firing the cabinet. The cheerleaders will be my cabinet. Calhoun, get the hell out of here. Nullification is dissolved.
You can't do this.
Well, I already did. Play me a song.
Crisis averted.
He's taking a stand.
Yeah, he's taking a stand.
And the best part is everything he says is right.
My name is Andrew Jackson, and I'm here to speak with you about the future of this incredible country. These are complicated times.
And today, we're going to need to make some complicated decisions.
But we're going to make those decisions together. I'm promising you transparency, accountability, and an open collaboration between you and me.
Because I'm the people's president, and I'm here to be your friend, to be your advocate, to be your voice.
It's morning again in America.
And I'm your president.
I'm your president,
I'm your president.
Andrew Jackson.
I really think that this might work. We're young. We'll live forever, at least for one more night. My life will hold this time, it always has before. So I think this just might work.
Mr. President,
What's up?
I've got Congress. They're calling about the National Bank.
Who hates the bank?
We do!
So shut it down. If we give those Weasley Wall Streeters a chance, they'll destroy this nation.
To dissolve the bank, you really do need approval from
Presidents don't ask permission, kill it.
I've got the Supreme Court. They say the nullification is legal.
They want Calhoun to split this nation into 24 separate countries?
Can you please just pick up the phone?
You know what? No. The Supreme Court, I don't take their calls.
Fine.
Oh, and Van Buren,
What?
bring me some agua para mi boca.
You speak Spanish?
I also have several forms of hepatitis. From battle wounds, people! From battle wounds!
Yuck.
Have you met my good buddy, Black Fox? Over the years, he's betrayed countless Indian tribes on our government's behalf, and it doesn't bother him at all.
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay, that was uncomfortable. But the truth is, while Black Fox may not be so popular among the other Indians, he always has and always will be loyal to me.
Yes, I'll always be loyal.
Huh. How's the relocation going?
Terribly. Indians lynched. Their homes destroyed.
Are you serious?
They refuse to move.
Well, maybe we should send in federal troops to forcibly move them west. What do you think we should do with the Indians?
Me?
Yeah, you, Naomi.
Well, I thought they should move, but maybe now I think they should stay.
But see, those ideas contradict each other.
Okay, well then move them.
But if we put the Indians on a forced march westward, I'm thinking a lot of them might die in the process. You'd feel pretty terrible about that, right?
Of course, I would. I mean, why are you asking me this?
I'm the people's president, Naomi. I want to know what you think is right.
It's not my job to decide about the Indians.
Okay, well, what about you?
I agree with you.
Okay, what are you talking about?
I agree with what you said
But I didn't say anything.
earlier. That thing? Totally with it.
Huh?
I wasn't really listening, but I like it so much.
This is the worst.
This is not fun anymore.
What?
Let's get out of here.
Wait, where are you going?
Direct democracy directly applies to, it's like toe slam.
Yeah, plus Congress is giving away free iPads.
What? You people are confusing. I don't think you know what you want. And that's why you're lucky to have me. Someone who can help you make the bold, passionate, the complicated decisions.
I think this is going to be a problem.
It's just you and me, Van Buren.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I've just received word, sir. The courts ruled the Cherokees cannot be forcibly moved.
In Washington, you can't get anything done!
You're just figuring that out now?
The Supreme Court's filled with Republicans and Congress won't pass a darn thing! I guess letting my wife die so I could be president was a bad call.
The Indians have responded to ruling by scalping and torching frontier settlements.
Well, the courts can't do that. Tell them no.
You can't tell the Supreme Court no. We need to think of another solution.
Then tell the Supreme Court I've got a gun. They can try to enforce their decisions, but I'm the president and they're gonna have to cross me first.
Congress is holding a vote to censor you, while skirmishes on the frontiers are getting worse.
Everyone keeps getting in my way!
You need to act quickly. We need to think of another solution.
Look, there is one other option instead of force. I'll talk directly to the Indians. Black Fox! Black Fox! Where's Black Fox? He's helped me negotiate with them before.
He's not here.
What? Why not?
Black Fox has gathered tribes into confederation to overthrow Tennessee.
But he's my friend! I've done everything for that guy!
His tribe just torched a frontier settlement.
Play! The people aren't going to stop Andrew Jackson from doing what it is Andrew Jackson knows that the people want. When it stops being fun and your patience is done and you see being president's hard with this country before you that cannot be governed, you find yourself powerless, bloody and scarred. And what is it for? The love of the people. Who is it for? This nation we made. The guy who did everything his way. Where has he gone? So tonight I'll sing the saddest songs to everyone who I've done wrong. And if you don't know how to sing along, well, I'm sorry, but the band plays on. Jeremiah looked down on the people of Judah, and he told them the future was bloody and cursed. When I think of the conflict and the change that awaits us, it's gonna be hard, but this country comes first.
So, what do you want to do about the Indians?
I'm working on it!
Would you like me to hold you? You must be so lonely.
Please leave me.
Alright.
So we'll ruin the banks, and we'll cripple the courts, and we'll take on the world for America's sake. We'll take all the land, and we'll take back the country. We'll take and we'll take, and we'll take and we'll take. And this country I'm making cannot be divided. The will of the people won't stand in my way. How can I tell you how deeply I'll make them all bleed? And so I'll sing the saddest songs of enemies who did me wrong, and the war will go on and on and on and on and on and on as long as we need.
There's something terribly amiss with American life that needs attention and healing.
I see it clearly before us.
That's why I've come here today to speak to you personally.
Let's set this nation on to a better course.
By fixing the Indian question.
The Indian question.
The Indian question.
I'm Andrew Jackson.
I'm Andrew Jackson.
I'm your president.
I'm Andrew Jackson! Bring me Black Fox by any means necessary.
Your Eminence, Great Father.
Don't! Stop pulling that obsequious Indian great father crap on me.
Andrew.
Thank you. Because we've known each other for far too long, Black Fox. Now look, here's the deal. You're fomenting insurrection. This can't happen anymore.
I have never.
Don't! The time to screw around and talk is over. You didn't want to assimilate, so I tried to let you live peacefully within our borders. And white people came and killed your tribe members. And then, before you could even talk about you moving west, before we could even negotiate, you freaking formed a militia! Now, you gotta make a decision. You sign this treaty and move your tribe peacefully, or I'm gonna have to send in the federal troops to forcibly relocate you and your people. And let me tell you, Black Fox, those people, they don't love Indians like I do.
Andrew, I have handed you the lands of at least 11 tribes. I did this with you, together as friends, behind their backs, because you promised. I have killed my own people for
It's like you Indians are always saying. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to. Because what I know to be true is that the extinction of your people is inevitable. Inevitable! Unless we move you west. It's the only solution that benefits your people and mine.
I don't believe
Because the
that-
president's got to have some objectivity on the future of this country, and I've got that now. And I want you to be a part of that future. I really do. But you got to be willing to make some sacrifices here.
You're speaking.
Black Fox, I'm trying to help you save yourself.
But if you feel.
Because I'm the will of the people, and I know what's right. And that's what populism is, bro. And I'm sorry about that. But we both know in our hearts that we can't have Indian ghettos scattered throughout the East Coast. And I wish you'd build symphonies in cities, man, and put on plays and shows yourself to be a little more essential to the culture, you know? And yeah, you totally were here first, absolutely. But we don't give a damn, and we never will. Because the day we arrived, we saw it. We wanted it, and frankly, it was easier to believe it was ours. And so we're stuck. And what I promise you is that this is the least bad solution. And what I also promise you is you sign this treaty here tonight, and in 30 years, you and I are going to look like freaking heroes for uniting this country. So what do you say, Black Fox? Do you want to be a hero? I need you to tell me tonight.
I will take your words back to my people, and when they have come to a decision.
Your nation will be destroyed.
Andrew, I'm your friend.
Presidents don't have the luxury of friends. Van Buren! It's done. Bring me whatever's next on the agenda.
Andrew Jackson died on June 8th, 1845.
Come on.
His historical legacy was a complicated one. Some believe he was the greatest president of the 19th century, while others believe his tenure was forever tarnished by his forced relocations of countless tribes.
This is not helping right
And the
now.
subsequent Trail of Tears, which resulted in the deaths of many thousands of Native Americans.
Great. Great. Good to hear. You know, you're not supposed to know your legacy before you die.
Even today, there is still no historical consensus. In the past few years, numerous books and documentaries have raised the question of whether Jackson was a great president or whether, in fact, he was a genocidal murderer, an American Hitler.
Wow. You know, I kind of thought history would vindicate me. Call me a hero.
You can't shoot history in the neck.
On this 145th commencement ceremony, I could not be more delighted to confer an honorary Doctor of Laws degree to the man who presided over this great campaign of expansion and land acquisition this country has ever witnessed. And the fellow who puts the man in manifest destiny. Come on up here, Dr. Andrew Jackson.
What a joyous occasion, hey, Calhoun?
Aren't you supposed to be dead?
No. Yes.
Harvard graduates, as my life begins to draw to a close, I come to you today with an important message about the future of this country. E pluribus unum, sic semper tyrannis. And if it chafes, for goodness sake, put some lotion on it!
Lotion?
Woo!
Some people never change.
Really? I thought you changed a lot. Had a whole arc.
But seriously, folks, a man gets to my age and he starts thinking about his legacy. How the class of Harvard maybe 200 years from now is going to remember him. And I guess I'd like to think about myself as a uniter. When I came into office, this country was bitterly divided in two. We had corruption in our highest offices, terror in our homeland, and you must remember, fear along our borders. Both a starved working class and a wealthy ruling class, but nothing in between. During my time in office, we've done right. We've acquired new lands, and we've made peace in them. And we've made peace at home. I hope you remember me not as a man who came from humble stock, and who maybe didn't wear fancy clothes, but as a man whose achievement was, for all us in this nation, equality. A man who represented a new America. Not equality for some, but equality for all. Because there's a reckoning coming up there, and I'd be in trouble otherwise. The common man, the aristocrat, the frontiersman, the banker, whoever you are, this I promise you. We will all meet again in heaven.